Erica here with Feeders Grain and Farm Supply. I'm out here today with Natalie. Natalie has been helping us at the store, and I wanted her to talk a little bit about 4-H and FFA and what it has meant to her through the years and how it has impacted everything that she does. So Natalie, you want to talk about 4-H?
Yeah, I've been in 4-H since 4th grade, and I've learned a lot through different static projects and my livestock. I started off showing pigs and then some lead steers, but kind of went on from that and did more of pigs and pen of 3 for calves. But then this year, I'm showing some pigs and some goats.
Oh, okay.
And then through the years, I've done some static projects where I've baked a pie or cookies or sewn a little pouch for my guinea pigs when I had them, or just all sorts of stuff.
So what do you, when we talk about 4-H, you know, it's not about just going to the county fair and displaying stuff. So of all the projects you have done, which of your 4-H projects would you say that you've learned the most by doing and actually enjoyed too?
My favorite project of all time for fair is my pigs.
Okay.
I've been doing it since 4th grade, so I've learned quite a bit. Before, I didn't really know much about pigs, and my dad and grandpa raised some a long time ago. So they knew a bit, but the show pigs were a lot different than even when my dad showed pigs, and they would just chase them around with their grandpa's cane in the pen. So we've learned a lot about their skin and hair, taking care of that, their nutrition, and all sorts of things. And I've definitely learned a lot through the years and evolved my project a lot.
Well, that's great because that's important, right? So now you can take the nutritional piece and kind of apply it to all livestock, whether it's your goats that you're doing or the hogs. So, and do you find that when you're doing the show pigs, do you see a variance based on how they're bred? And, you know, is there certain things that you're looking for now versus like when you started, you're like, I don't know, we just got what we got.
Yeah, through the years, I've bought my pigs from a few different people and tried some online sales. And we're just really trying to look for, if I'm looking for market, something that you'd want to see on your plate. So something that has good potential to grow some good muscle and good bone structure and just all the right pieces so that it can grow and get well balanced and something you'd like to see.
So through that, have you also been doing any livestock judging or anything like that to kind of help your eye in showing?
I started livestock judging through FFA in middle school, and I was really, really scared because I was just a little middle schooler and I didn't know what I was doing. But then my parents convinced me to go, and I've really enjoyed it, and I've had some success with it, which makes it more fun. And I just go to different county fairs with my FFA chapter to the Northwest CDE Day, where I think it's a lot of fun, and I do better at that contest. And then I've participated at state, and it's just been a lot of fun and really helped me with goats, cattle, anything.
Yeah, so you kind of get that eye and understand. And I'm sure one thing you probably understand more than anything is doing livestock judging itself is that every judge has a different eye.
Yes.
So one year you can be doing awesome, but maybe you go to another jackpot show and you don't do so well. So, you know, that's one thing I think is learning is, do you think, even though you've earned, say, a lower ribbon, was there learning behind that for you?
Yeah. I think I don't always measure my success through fair of like if I place in a class. It's mostly if I'm learning something, if I had a good experience, because the pigs are pretty competitive, so I just usually try to go in and have fun, make sure I learn something, and just try to get better every year. Yeah,
definitely, because now are you still showing as 4-H, or now do you show as FFA? Because you started FFA in junior high?
7th grade,
7th grade. Okay.
I switched last year to FFA just because I've shown at the state fair for quite a few years now, and we just liked how the pig show was at the beginning of the fair and less stressful when we have to turn around and come back with the goats.
And so it's pretty much the same standards when you look at 4-H versus FFA.
Yes.
The big thing with FFA is that it's part of the school itself. So you're taking ag classes, and that is part of the project versus it's a little bit different with 4-H. Can you talk about like the difference between the two?
Yeah, I've done 4-H for a long time, and it's a lot of your parents are helping you, registering you, so they got to make sure they're doing it all right. And I'd say it's a lot of similarities, but there's a few differences. But then the last couple of years when I've been showing through FFA, my advisor comes out and she helps me tag them and write on the papers, and she helps me and she registers it. But then at the state fair, the judges are judging the same thing, and it's just different people, kind of.
Yeah. So more FFA is more kind of on your own, not so much parent participation.
Yes.
And then you've got an advisor that helps. And then 4-H is, it gets you started, right? Since you're doing it starting in 4th grade, so you're 10.
Yes.
You start at 10. And so then when you're, 12, 13-ish, you're starting in FFA now. Now, when I was a kid, we didn't have junior high FFA. So we did 4-H up until high school, and then you could transition to FFA. So is there any advice that you would give kids when we're talking about showing, because we know that we're not always going to get first, right? But what advice would you have for them about the overall program and what you've learned from it?
Yeah, I'd say either if you're doing static or livestock or both, don't really focus on winning or getting a purple ribbon or going to state. It's really just learning along the way. Sometimes, like this year, I've learned that I need to use different whips when I'm trying to train them. And so that's better than last year because I've grown and known different things and different feed stuff. I've just been trying to get better. And so my advice would just, instead of just looking at the end goal of trying to win, just work on the steps to get there, and then you'll see more success probably.
So through 4-H and FFA, do you think that has molded what you want to do once you get out of high school and go to college? So based on that, when you go to college, do you think that was influenced by...
Definitely.
Yeah.
I knew that I always wanted to go into an agriculture-related field, but through the years, the last couple years, I've kind of landed on animal nutrition, just because, especially with the pigs, there's a lot that goes into feed, just a handful of this and an ounce of that. So it's really interested me, and I've been trying to learn more about nutrition.
No, that's great. And I appreciate you just chatting with us, because I think it's important for people to understand, you don't necessarily have to be enrolled in a high school program or junior high to do FFA. That's one thing, right? So you need to do that to be an FFA. But 4-H, you can join a 4-H club. And you can do all kinds of things, not only showing animals, but you can also, do some jam or quilts or, like there's a lot of interesting things associated with it. Now, you are part of the 4-H. Do you hold an office in 4-H or did you?
In 4-H, I've served as our secretary, and this year I'm our treasurer.
Okay. And do you help with any boards for 4-H?
For 4-H, I'm on the county council, so we play in different events, like a kind of a junior lock-in and things throughout the year.
Okay.
And then I'm also on the YAC committee, but it's Youth Advisory Council.
Okay.
So we've been working on putting on the Ag Olympics for the kids during fair.
Oh, fun.
And working on different things for that, so it's been really fun.
So you can be involved in many different ways within the organization without actually having to have a physical animal. And that's always important to point out to people, is that, hey, you don't have to have a farm and lots of animals. You can do something with cooking. You can do something with maybe some small gardening, whatever it might be. You can still be involved in 4-H. And there's a lot of youth in 4-H, but there's some leadership opportunities within that program that I think, a lot of people kind of glaze over and don't necessarily know about.
I'm also on the Animal Science Ambassadors this year. That's a new thing. And we put on a it was 4th through 8th graders, and we taught them about crop nutrition and meat cuts, and that was another great thing that I would definitely suggest them to apply for.
Yeah. No, that's great. So there's lots of opportunities, and we just wanted to stop in and tell Natalie, we appreciate you. Obviously, you're helping us this summer, but also good luck at the county fair.
Thank you.
And state fair, right? It's going to be both this year, so you have a lot of work ahead. And is there any advice that you would give to people when they're starting a 4-H project that, about the time and things like that it takes?
Definitely get in contact with your CYC or your club leader so you know the deadlines.
Okay.
And definitely don't be afraid to ask questions because you're not going to know everything at first. So if you want to ask your leader or an older member, everyone's happy to help. So just never be afraid to ask for any advice or any help.
Because everybody's here to have a goal of learning,
Yes.
right? That's what it's all about for 4-H and FFA. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.